All right, so for today, we're just going to review factoring. Our next couple of sections here. Every problem is going to start off with your first job is to factor. And set your denominator equal to 0. So this is just going back to chapter 5 with factoring into two binomials and solving. So that's all your assignment's going to be today. All right, so first up, x squared plus 11x plus 24. We're looking for factors of 24. It's a positive 24, so we're looking for a sum of 11. So your factors at 24, you got 1 and 24, 2 and 12, 3 and 8, 4 and 6. So which ones add up to 11? 3 and 8. They're both going to be positive. Set both those binomials equal to 0. So x equals negative 3. And x equals negative 8. All right, next up, you got a negative 20. So factors of negative 20. Again, that's what's driving your problem there. We need a difference of negative 1. So factors of 20, you got 1 and 20, 2 and 10, 4 and 5. So x minus 5, x plus 4 equals 0. Because again, that would give you x squared plus 4x minus 5x minus 20. Right there is going to give me that minus 1x. So we're going to get x equals 5 and x equals negative 4. All right, next up, I got x squared minus 25 equals 0. This is a difference of squares. So we're going to factor this in x minus 5 times x plus 5. Because again, if I multiply that out, x plus 5 times x minus 5, the order doesn't matter. Get x squared minus 5x plus 5x minus 25. You get the 0x there, so that's why there's no x term. So you go x minus 5 equals 0, x plus 5 equals 0, so x equals 5, and x equals negative 5. Just so you're aware, like on the Schoology quizzes, I'm not going to write it like this, x equals positive and negative 5, because I can't get that symbol on the multiple choice answers. I can do it like in the question, but not in the answer choices. So don't look for this on Schoology. I'm going to write it out just like that, x equals 5 and x equals negative 5. All right, so just don't be looking for that. I don't want anyone to get confused. This one, it's not a trinomial, it's just a binomial, so we're just going to factor out a GCF. So this is a GCF problem. Okay, so what do they have in common? You got 3 and 12. You can factor out a 3 there. You got an x squared and x. So I can factor out a 3x is my GCF. So 3 divided by 3 is 1. I took one of those x's, so I'm just left with x. 12 divided by 3 is 4. So you got 3x equals 0, and x minus 4 equals 0. So x equals 0. Add 4 to both sides, x equals 4. All right, so I got 4 more of these for you. This one, another GCF. But on this one, it's x cubed and x. So I can take an x from those. Now I have x squared minus 16 equals 0. X squared minus 16 is a difference of squares. So x minus 4, x plus 4. Set all these equal to 0. So you got x equals 0, you have x minus 4 equals 0, and you have x plus 4 equals 0. So x equals 0, you're going to add 4 to both sides here, x equals 4, subtract 4, x equals negative 4. All right, so you're going to have 3 solutions here. Again, it's a cubic function, so if you go graph that, you would see 3x intercepts. This one, I got a coefficient on the x squared. You can't factor out a GCF. You have 3, 19, and 20. I mean, 19 is a prime number, so nothing to factor there. So we got to use factors of 20 and factors of 3 to make 19. Everything's going to be positive here. So if I can do 3 times 5 and get 15, again, the way I work this out is that would be my 15x. That'll be 4x. Together, that gives me my 19x in the middle there. So I'm going to go 3x plus 4 equals 0, and x plus 5 equals 0. So x equals negative 4/3, and x equals negative 5. Down here, we got x plus 6 times x plus 6 equals 0. That's a perfect square trinomial. All right, so you could write it like this: x plus 6 squared equals 0, but the point is that x just equals negative 6. If you want to add that it's multiplicity 2, that's fine. Finally, one last GCF problem. You can factor out an x from both these. So we're going to get x equals 0, and x plus 6 equals 0. So final answer, x equals 0, and subtract 6 from both sides over here. X equals negative 6. Okay, so I'm going to try and set up a live session probably later this week based on what you guys gave me. Again, if you guys got any questions, best thing to do is email me. I check that a lot more frequently than, like Schoology. If you message me on Schoology, I don't always see that. I'm just kind of going in like twice a day or so just to see, people are doing the quizzes and stuff and staying up to date on that. All right, remember the quizzes, you do have 2 attempts on those. So make sure when you finish a quiz, you go back and look at your submission so you know what you got right and what you got wrong. It'll tell you what you got wrong. So make a note of that, so that take it again and hopefully get them all correct. All right. If something gets messed up, like your internet times out, like I think I have the quizzes set as resumable, but just email me. I'll give you another attempt. It's not a big deal. Just email me sooner rather than later so problems don't mount up. All right. But again, any questions, concerns, whatever, send me an email. We'll figure something out. Have a good day.